So it's the 11th of February 2024. This is Palestinian rally number 18. I'm about 10 minutes late. I can hear in the background it's already kicked off. So we do the usual running of the Gauntlet of the Socialists. Look, it looks like I already got a police presence with me, but it's not. They're just incidentally arriving at the same time I am. But of course, yeah, it's the usual suspects. The Marxism, learn about Marxism, tell everyone, get taught about socialism. Flag sellers, Marxist socialists, selling their wares, and we'll see how far we get today. Before I'm either accosted or held up by the cops or whatever happens. These guys are another socialist group. I don't kind of have their name on there, but I think it is anyway. Solidarity. He's spruiking for the solidarity. This might be the Guardian, whatever that is. They have a magazine. These guys selling bags. The Greens aren't here today, and then you got this is another socialist. What are these? The Marxism conference coming up. Let's learn about Marxism book. Marxism, socialism, and the flag sellers, and more scarf selling and flag selling. See how we go now. A bit more Socialist Alliance here. It's the Socialists. You have a lot of Aboriginal sort of stuff goes with it. Free Palestine. Who's that guy? Red flag. This is the Greens. They've got all the Greens. They've got all their flags up. And then you have your flag sellers. Whoa, getting wet.
We salute the government of Oman, not Amman, Oman. They tell the US and its allies to go fuck themselves when they ask them to use their airspace to attack the Yemeni people. And for preserving their Arab roots and their anti-Zionist stand. We salute the Lebanese people.
I didn't even get to do my usual thing about the eye in the sky police thing last week because I got accosted so quickly. But it's about the furthest I've got for the last couple of weeks anyway. See the stage from here. Maybe I should just stand back here, and that's my oh, there's the guy with the birds. Someone kept telling me there's a dude that has these birds. He's always here. And there you go. They live in a little cage, obviously. It's the first time I've seen them. Yeah. Oh, we'll push a bit closer. See how we go. It's a protest, brother. Anyone can be here, surely. Yeah. I've got no problems. If you haven't got a problem, I've got no problems.
Maybe don't go so much up front. Oh, because they do feel a bit uncomfortable.
Oh, okay. Where would you like me?
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, no worries.
And I ask you to continue this path. Please do not stop. Do not stop. Even if the bombs stop, do not stop. 20 years.
Well, it looks like this is where I am now.
And humanitarian aid are what I desperately needed immediately, right now. To stop a genocide. But our work begins when the bombs stop falling. To ensure the right of all Palestinians to all historic Palestine. To hold every leader who engaged in, supported or funded the genocide to account, including our very own Morgan Albanese. To be the voice for the 19,000. That's how many orphans there are in Gaza today. manufacturing orphan after orphan after orphan. Did you know that if we attended the funeral of one child massacred in Gaza over the last 4 months, if we attended one funeral a day for every child, it would take us 32 years to bury them. 32 years to bury the orphans that have, the babies that have been butchered in the last 4 months. Never again. We will not stop. We cannot stop until Palestine is free from the river to the sea. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't want your bloody wars. 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't want your bloody wars. Now, first speaker is my Aboriginal brother and long-time activist, Gazan.
It was called Palestine, and it will remain Palestine. A few days ago, we saw Rafah, which has been designated as the safe zone from the beginning of the genocide, bombed by Israeli airstrikes. This comes after Gazans were displaced from the north to the south at the beginning of the genocide, as per the instructions of the Israeli occupation forces. And along the way, many of them were waving white flags were shot to execution style. Once they reached to the south, which was meant to be a safe zone, they began going to the south as north. Most Gazans have been displaced countless times during the genocide. They bombed refugee camps, they obliterated hospitals, they massacred tens of thousands as they began decimating area after area from the north to the south. The Gazans that survived were told Rafah is the only safe place, and they were instructed by the Israeli terrorist forces to evacuate to Rafah. And now, in the race for bloodshed, Netanyahu has signaled that a ground invasion of Rafah will ensue. He's ordered the military to evacuate Rafah, the Palestinians in Rafah, in preparation of a ground invasion to accompany the airstrikes. Gaza, which we know is already one of the most densely populated places on earth, is nowhere near as populated as Rafah, which ordinarily hosts 150,000 people. And now, 1.4 million people are in Rafah. The situation in Rafah is beyond catastrophic. Where will the starving and homeless 1.4 million people go? Where are they supposed to go? Where are the elderly and the sick supposed to go? This is a call to action. I told you all I woke up today angrier, more angry than I've ever been. This is a call to action to every single person that's here today. We must do something more than what we are doing. If Netanyahu has it his way, Rafah will be a cemetery by the end of the week. I implore you all, when you leave today, talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your co-workers, attend every single action. Write, call people, protest, do something, because the situation in Rafah is beyond what we can imagine. 1.4 million people in a very, very, very small area. It is beyond catastrophic. And perhaps one of the lowest moves that we've seen from this government is the seizing of the UNRWA funds. In this current genocide, nearly the entire population of Gaza now relies on UNRWA for basic necessities such as food, water, and hygiene supplies. UNRWA looks after 58 refugee camps, 6 million registered refugees, 706 schools, 540,000 students, 140 primary health facilities, and over 7 million patients daily. Children in Gaza are hungry who accuse UNRWA of instrumentalizing aid themselves are weaponizing aid. It is a violation of international humanitarian law. It is a violation of international principles. It is a violation of the ruling of the ICJ, which says that nobody should hinder international aid. It will devastate the lives of 1.2 million people who are on UNRWA programs. It will lead to mass starvation. All it took was an unverified document for the shameless Western governments to pull funding and collectively punish 2.1 million people. Penny Wong, who has decided that the unverified claims of a baseless document is enough to leave 2.1 million Gazans stranded with no aid. Yet, when the International Court of Justice published findings of genocide by Israel, that wasn't enough to pull support and aid for the terrorist state of Israel. The appalling hypocrisy of this government knows no limits. Let it be known, from now until the end of time, Penny Wong is a war criminal! Penny Wong, I condemn you for shaking hands with a war criminal that signed his autograph on bombs that were destined to be rained down on Gaza. Penny Wong, I condemn you for allowing the starvation of 2.1 million people. Penny Wong, I hold you accountable for the 30,000 massacred Palestinians. Penny Wong, I hold you accountable for the thousands of Gazans stranded, waiting to seek refuge with their families in Australia, unable to leave because of your murderous policies. I will say it again, and let it be known, Penny Wong is a war criminal. And we must do everything to remove this war criminal from power. This is a call to action from everyone here. I mentioned before, the situation in Gaza, and now specifically in Rafah, is beyond catastrophic. We need more numbers and actions. We need every single person here to show up to every single action. We need this corrupt and disgusting government to wake up from this nightmare that we're currently living in. Meanwhile, in other news, the corrupt Australian government has announced the release of up to $75,000 grants to dual Israeli-Australian citizens. And of course, Australian Gazans who have lost countless family members, homes, properties, businesses. They haven't received so much as a message of solidarity to the Australian government, let alone a single dollar to support them. And Australian Gazans are having to pay up to $10,000 as a sponsor to bring their family members to stay here. Where is the support for the government? Where is the support? And let me remind you that when Australian residents lose their homes to bushfires or floods, they got peanuts in comparison. A Zionist settler can get $75,000 while an Australian citizen receives $1,000 as a disaster recovery payment. Australia has made it very clear. First, it favors its Zionist citizens over its Palestinian citizens. And that double standard reeks of racism. And secondly, it favors its political ties over its own citizens. So for every Australian out there that's supporting the pro-Israeli stance, rest assured, your welfare is considered second priority below that of a Zionist settler. I'd like to introduce our next speaker. Malik al-Badawi is an 18-year-old Palestinian from Iraq al-Mahmanshiyah, a village in Al-Asqalan, whose grandparents were survivors of the Nakba. Please welcome Malik.
سلام من بيت لحم، سلام من جنين، سلام من جبل النار، سلام من غزة العزة، سلام بالشهادة سلام من فلسطين. Nothing is louder than the voice of resistance. Nothing unites our people more than the resistance. My name is Malik Al-Badawi. I'm a proud Palestinian, grandson of Nakba survivors, cousin of martyrs, and nephew of prisoners. My parents were born in a refugee camp called Al-Aruf camp in the West Bank. This comes after the displacement of my respected grandparents in the Nakba, as they were forced to refugee camp. Raga Menchia was a Palestinian Arab village that had a very few kilometers northeast of Gaza city. This is where my grandparents were born and witnessed the beginning of a long 75-year genocide. Since the 7th of October, I've continued to have the debate with my Arab and non-Arab friends about the concepts of war and genocide. Let me affirm my position today that war is between two countries, two armies, two powers, not between the resistance and the nation of the defensive state. Not between an army that has the most advanced, powerful nuclear power in the world based on unlimited support from old and new colonial powers. Yes, this is another genocide perpetrated by the Zionist movement against our people, a short genocide of Israel. I fully dismiss the narrative constructed by the Zionists, the European Union, the United States, the United Nations, and a number of Arab countries that Hamas started the war. Let me tell you, the war started when the imperialist and capitalist system decided to wipe out Palestine and Palestinians off the world map. The war originated in the second half of the 19th century with the conception of modern Zionism, aimed to create a Jewish state in Palestine. Therefore, we must not use terms such as Gaza war or Gaza Hamas war, but rather we must adopt similar terminology that confirms it as a war of extermination. However, public schools, civilians, hospitals, mosques, churches, civilian monuments, residential buildings and homes, and displaces half the population of Gaza. Since these days claim their homes and prosperous shows is not fighting Hamas, nor the resisting nations, but rather seeking to destroy the entire Palestinian population according to the final solution method. Or more simply, the Western states and media continue the marginalization of Palestinians despite many years of destruction and displacement. Sadly, since 1948, Arabs in general, and Palestinians more specifically, emerge as little more than abstract figures in Western policy consideration, which are conceptualized in terms of the threat to Israel, the threat to the West, and the threat to democracy more broadly. Palestinians must not be ashamed to defend resistance, which is a legitimate right stipulated under international law for the population under foreign occupation and domination. This is an honorable right and has been exercised by many nations to resist colonialism and foreign occupation. Indeed, the double standard exercised by the West and their allies on the 7th of October made me question all human rights concepts, such as the freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, and the rule of law. The United States and its main European allies, Britain, France, and Germany, are partners in the war of genocide against our people in Palestine. They all rushed to the aid of the apartheid state, loaded them with weapons and directed their missiles, aircraft carriers, fleets, submarines, to project the collapsed entity and supported a supplied revenge on Gaza, which has been under occupation for 56 years and has been siege for 17 years. More than 4 months of massacres and forced displacement under the watch of the Security Council and the United Nations. Officials have lined up behind the Israeli narrative on definition of terrorism and war crimes and naming Hamas by name. The overwhelming majority of them avoided condemning Israel's crimes by name and did not demand a comprehensive ceasefire, nor did they address the terms genocide, war crimes, or crimes against humanity. To this day, I remember my grandparents who lived in the refugee camps who continuously state that UNRWA was evidently proven to be the main source of relief for Palestinians throughout the refugee camps. However, after the Western world decided to define UNRWA, it was a clear message to the Israeli government and occupation to continue the genocide against our people. I would like to end by saying, being Palestinian is the greatest honor. And as long as one Palestinian exists, we will exist.
I want to hear your loudest voices. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Shame, shame Israel! Shame, shame Israel! We've come out for the last 18 weeks, week after week, to stand against this atrocity that we see unfolding before us. Many of you have come out for the first time in these last horrific months, realising the depths of the depravity of the Israeli state, the US and the Australian government. Whatever happens over the next few weeks, we know that we stood on the right side of history. Heard. We didn't decide it was too hard to come here and come out this after week. Many people have asked and looked at the atrocities that they've seen in the history of the 20th century and thought, what would I do if I was there? What you're doing right now is what you would have done while those things are happening. Who's come to protest in the past, who sometimes feel a bit disheartened, sometimes wonders if what we're doing is having an effect. History will remember the people who turned out and stood against this genocide. And history will condemn those who supported it. The next speaker I will invite to come up and speak is the daughter of Palestinian refugees, Hyde. Make her welcome.
Gaza continues to be pounded. From the sky, the colonizer attacks and incarcerates the population. But let's remember who the people of Gaza are. The people of Gaza are mostly, the vast majority, refugees from 271 villages that were destroyed in 1948. At the time, more than 500 villages were completely destroyed and ethnically cleansed. The people in Gaza today from 271 of those villages throughout historic Palestine. The children and grandchildren of those who received ethnic cleansing back in 1948 are now pounding Gaza from the sky, and no amount of news that
we're talking about cutting, when they're talking about cutting annual funds, they're talking about cutting the largest service provider at a time that the occupier is deliberately starving and shelling the native population. But I also want to stress, I have a few relatives and friends in Lebanon who work for UNRWA, and our criticism of UNRWA is that it doesn't go far enough. While it provides much needed services to Palestinians, a lot of those and issues that are essential to the Palestinian refugee problem. So our criticism is that it hasn't gone far enough. Because the Palestinian refugee problem can't be fixed in isolation. It's a political problem. It was a deliberate effort by the man, as it is a deliberate ethnic or attempt of ethnic in Gaza today, and therefore the solution is political. The solution is decolonization.
This is not a hijacking of the flag. This is basically acknowledging indigenous people, another lot of and it's
this has been the Palestinian refugee experience. You can't blame them for feeling that they attempt to destroy and erase the Palestinian refugee identity. But nothing they do, nothing threatens Israel more than the Palestinian refugee. Makes them semi-colonialism era than the Palestinian refugee. But my elders in the Palestinian refugee camps in Lebanon told me, don't use the word refugee. We're not refugees, we're returnees. In Australia, there are attempts to silence, no surprise, and Australia is a separate colony in its own right. But these attempts to silence in Australia, while they can't be compared to the vicious colonial violence in Gaza, we can draw from an inspiration from the Palestinian resistance to face Western imperialism in its attempt to silence, in its attempt to kill, in its attempt to maintain its hegemonic power throughout the world. The Palestinian resistance is based on liberation and return. It will never ever tire, and it will continue until the bombardment of Gaza ends, until all refugees are returned, until all children, our hostages in Israeli jails, being held in Israeli prisons without charge, until they are all released, until every Palestinian returns to the villages of the origins. The resistance will continue, whatever the distance. 2.3 million people at the Rafah border crossing the waters up there. We need your loudest voices. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your bloody wars. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your bloody wars. 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is a terror state. 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is a terror state. 19,000 orphans in 4 months if we had to bury every child that's been buried in Gaza. Because of the atrocities, it would take us 32 years. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your bloody wars. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your bloody wars. 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is a terror state. 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is a terror state.
Another reminder about why it is so important that we're out today. As a number of our speakers have pointed out, it's not just the horror that we've seen unfolding in Gaza. We all know what Israel is like. We know the history, 70 years of genocide and ethnic cleansing. It's the absolute depravity of the governments around the world, especially our own government. They claim that they stand for the principles of Yet when faced with this genocide, not once have they unequivocally come out and said, we demand that Israel stop massacring Palestinians. When one country brought Israel to the International Criminal Court of Justice, they didn't come out and say, we support the attempt to use all legal means available to us to stop this massacre. No, they tried to stymie and stop those attempts as much as they could. The cutting of funding to UNRWA has nothing to do with the fake claims that Israel has put up. It is purely to punish Palestinians for even trying to take Israel to the International Criminal Court of Justice. They have had not a single shred of evidence to justify this collective punishment of millions of Palestinians. But we have ample evidence, thousands and thousands of documents of evidence, not only over the last couple of months, but over years, of the crimes committed by Israel. And what have they done to try and stop them? Have they ever cut off funding to Israel from the United States? When they murdered Shireen Abu Akleh, did they cut off their diplomatic ties with Israel? Did they expel the ambassador? They did nothing. Yet they launched an attempt to try and starve Palestinian civilians. Shame! And that is why the international solidarity movement is so essential. Because the enemies of the Palestinians are not just the Israeli state and the criminals that are murdering and dispossessing them. It is the forces of governments around the world that uphold that unjust order. Our next speaker that I want to invite up is Professor Amanda Wise, who's a professor at Macquarie University who specialises in anti-racism and anti-colonial studies. So make her welcome.
Trying to understand all forms of racism, including anti-Semitism. I know what it looks like. I also should teach on colonialism and anti-colonial movements. I wrote my honours thesis on South Africa's Truth and Reconciliation Commission. I wrote my PhD on East Timor's independence movement. I want to honour South Africa's leadership on behalf of the people of Gaza and the international Mandela was always, up until his death, a steadfast ally of the Palestinian people, as he was for the people of East Timor during their struggle for freedom. Mandela died before the Palestinian people achieved their freedom. The children post-apartheid South Africa carry his legacy on. They understand that legacy is the shared struggle of all colonised peoples. They have taken the right lesson from their traumatic past. They know oppression. They know apartheid when they see it. And they're not afraid to act on the international stage in line with these values, unlike our own country. South Africans know oppression, they know apartheid. So do Jewish allies of the Palestinian movement. On that, I want to pay my respects to the Jewish allies, and there are many of them, who are here with us today and around the world. Children of Holocaust survivors. They understand at the most visceral level the responsibility to say never again. They know must be stopped. We're here in solidarity and often at cost, great cost to family bonds and to community bonds. How dare the Zionists call our Jewish allies capos and anti-Semites? How dare they? And I pay my deepest respects to the Muslim community who have been here week in, week out, rain, hail or shine, showing up in greatest numbers and neighbouring support. Muslims from everywhere, every corner of the earth. I'm an academic who spent my career studying multiculturalism. I can tell you, I see the best of that here today. Some politicians and the hate media want to argue that we are undermining community cohesion. I say we are making it. This is what multiculturalism is. It's not food and dance. It's a diversity grounded in both peaceful coexistence and justice. You see at these protests flags from every corner of the earth. I've seen the Aboriginal flag flying high and proudly. Alongside the Aboriginal flag, I've seen the flag of Afghanistan, of Algeria, of South Africa, of Ireland, of Lebanon, of Scotland, of Iran, New Zealand, of Turkey, of the Philippines, Taiwan, Tunisia, Bosnia, Pakistan, Malaysia, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Egypt, Malta, Malta, Chile. I've seen the Putika flag of Chile's indigenous people and the flag of West Papua. This struggle is also one and the same. Australians of every background, many of mixed heritage, are here in their numbers week after week. Black, white, Asian. Australians and Palestinians and Palestinian Australians, people of Lebanese heritage, of Zimbabwean heritage, Syrians, Egyptians, Iranians, English, Polish, German, Scottish, Irish, Greek, Italian, Mauritian, Peruvian, Brazilian, Samoan, Fijian, Maori, Tongan, Brazilian, Korean, Japanese, some I'm sure. But our ties cut across ethnicity. From the very old to the very young, school students, university students, parents, children. We have lawyers, we've got scientists, we've got train drivers, we've got builders, we've got truck drivers, doctors and surgeons, nurses, psychologists, social workers, executives, small business people, teachers, academics and artists. And the flags of civil society fly proudly too. I see the Union flag, I see the flag of the United Nations, I see the Eureka flag. And the struggle for Palestine transcends differences in faith. I see people of all faiths represented here. I see people who are Muslims and Jews and Christians and Hindus and Buddhists, and the deeply rooted spiritualities of many First Nations people. I'm an academic, but I come from a long line of teachers. And I am proud to stand among all the teachers who are here with us today. Many of them face censorship, potential disciplinary action, and being here and speaking up against genocide and apartheid. I'm an academic, I'm also a mother, and I am grateful my kids are in your hands. I am grateful my kids are being educated by teachers prepared to call for peace and who stand firm in the face of racism, genocide and war crimes. Did you know, and most people don't, that you're making history? These protests are the longest running protests in Australian history. you are on the right side of history. Our movement is a peace movement, but it's a movement for justice. And as I end, I want to pay my respects and express my deepest gratitude to my dear friend and dear mentor, Dr. Abdul Fattah, who's been targeted by the Zionists. And I pay my respects to her father, Dr. Abdul Fattah. He was born in Nablus in 1945, 79 years old. He's older than the state of Israel. He still keeps the tattered remains of his UNRWA scholarship papers. He treasures them. My deepest wish for him, Dr. Abdul Fattah Sr., is that he sees a liberated Palestine in his lifetime.
So I've only got a contingent of 2 cops today, and I have to go. I'm allowed. They wanted me to march at the back, but I said no. I want to march at the front, so they okayed that. And I had a big long chat with the liaison officer guy, and he kind of filled me in a bit on what's going on. But yeah, I gotta. It's just a bit of an odd situation, you know. It's quite intimidating. All the Palestinian Action Group people crowding in, and I just keep walking and see what the cops do. They just have to follow me. They're my shadows now. They're just be in the background. I'm actually parched and I need a drink of water, so that's where I'm really heading. Yeah, I'm not allowed. I wasn't allowed to go. They wouldn't let me go through the front there. I wasn't allowed near the stage. But you know, there's a few allowances made this week for my presence. You see my trailers in the background trailing me along. And yeah, as I arrived, I got kind of told by a bloke I shouldn't be there, and then I should have filmed while I was speaking to the police liaison officer, but he was a lot more candid because I wasn't filming, and you know, quite truthful about what's going on with it all. And the police thing, it's always, oh look, we don't want any troubles. So there's a bubbler right there, which is where I'm heading. I'm absolutely parched, so we'll go there, and then I'll get my boys to follow me down to the front, and we'll see how we go with it all. All right, let's get into it. I got a bit more free reign this week. The coppers that are following me aren't, they're not hassling me overly like last week's ones were a bit stricter. It's a bit of an odd situation. So if I walk this way, they follow me. If I walk that way, they follow me. Hey boys, how you going?
Mate, the stuff you're doing last time, epic. Really good, man.
I got my entourage every week now.
Oh, what? You got these guys following?
Yeah, it's,
why?
11, it's down from 11 last week.
No,
it's all good, mate. Don't worry about it. We'll talk later about it. Yeah, these are from, he's from the Assange crew, but he's very much, he'll just talk up to the cops. It's like, a few people will, of course, most people won't these days. But yeah, don't make a scene. I got the cops are nice and sedate today, the two I've got, so I'll keep it that way for now. Yeah, we'll go down the front and we'll see how close we can get without it causing any issues. But you know, my word is my bond. Apparently I've got to stay level with the police car, so we're sneaking in from the front this time. I normally like to go up there into DJ's and get a photo from inside, get the video from inside, but I probably could do that. The boys will follow me into DJ's. All right, this is a bit of dead noise for a minute, so I'll pause and we'll come back when we get around the corner. All right, here they come. So this is the corner of, I guess you'd call it Market. That's Market Street down there. This is Elizabeth Street. This is College, kind of, not really, I don't know what the hell they call this little bendy road. But you know, I'll stay level with the cop car, and we'll see how we go from there. My minders are got a good eye on me on the side there, and yeah. Little car. Hey, good.
It's the same as last time. As long as you keep it in front of this car, we're all good.
Level with the car is what we agreed with. Perfect. All right. The same dealio. I feel like I'm in the way.
You gotta walk in front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just stop in front. You just gotta keep
Walking with it. All right. Yeah. All right. I'll try my best. All good. Yeah. All good so far. Yeah. There's other guy. I think he shoots for the one of the left magazine. So everyone else allowed free reign. But everyone but me. I nearly had to quickly jump to it and be in front of the car before I got told off again. Not at all happy. they go past, and a smile. Just, yeah, I think everyone's shaking their head a little bit about it all. But yeah, hopefully we can have a chat next week. The liaison officer guy I gave him my number, and he's going to try and get on contact with him so we can have a talk and see what their issue is, because that's what I keep saying. It's been 3 weeks now, and no one's telling me a thing. So hopefully we'll find something out. stop. I felt they were, and I think maybe this is a point where they will. This is the corner of this is the QBB building, the corner of George Street and Market Street. Oh no, they're off again. Momentary stop. The cops came over and had a go at them, and they capitulated. Yeah, sorry. For a minute. There still could be an organised stop, we never know, we'll see. this is the situation now. I got to be in front of the police car, which I try to be, and if I don't, I get told off. I got my two minders are here, and the bikes tell me what to do, and then the other cops tell me what to do, and yeah, I have to just. That's it. That's the rules today. The ever-changing rules. A bit better than last week, anyway. Stuck at the back. Yeah. So, told to get a move on. All right. This is corner of Druitt Street, or nearly a George Street and Druitt Street, I'd say. That's Kent, but we won't worry about that. And yeah, they're heading up now. I've just done a bit of a loop. I've done a good walk backwards through town. Didn't fall over. Yeah, I spoke to the liaison officer, copper, just then, the big fella there, and he's going to work on it and see what he can come up with, and we'll see how we go. So hopefully, I'm happy to go back to normal, and if they truly believe I've said something that upsets them and it is incorrect, I'm happy to go on the record as it and have it corrected. Get out of the way. I got my police and my bikes and cars and everything. Yeah, but look, we'll see how it pans out for now. Now we're just coming past QBB again and Queen Victoria statue for as long as it lasts. See, any comment I make now, it's like you gotta double think whether it's incorrect or not. But I don't give a damn. And I'll make comments about the town hall and the various flags they fly, the Ukrainian flags and the American pride flags and whatever else. And again, another issue that someone will have an issue with it, but it's not my issue; it's their issue. That my commenting on it is my business. Anyway, we'll try and work it out with the Palestinians and see if we can get back to a no police guard. All right, I better move. I'm getting hurried on again. They're getting quite a crowd though, at least, like looking and seeing, but I don't know, getting beat by the police bike for crossing. They're going to be here forever if they don't cross now. He's not happy, tell him to go back. He's one of my minders, been very good so far. They're a lot easier going than last week's ones. Alright, that'll do. Yeah, just spoke to my friend about random stuff, but I've just come back. Today is the 11th of February, and it was the Palestine rally today, and it was quite an interesting day. This is just for us to listen to. I shouldn't have my picture there with the rest of the shit. Oh, how do I change it? Oh yeah, there we go. Make that smaller so we can see where we're walking. And it was an interesting day in the sense that I kind of had a little bit of clarity as to what the problem was, and I understand now. It's this what I said about the woman and the vitriol she was, spewing on the 16th rally, and that's what that's all upset about, because she's one of the organisers and she's one of the favourite ones of the organisers. So that's what they're upset about, that I dare to call her out. And the reality is, I'm writing up my thing at home now. I'm just going out to get some dinner, but the reality is they're happy to accept the. They don't say it, of course, but they gas the Jews becoming where's the Jews, or and they'll accept that, but it's like, oh no, well, you can't mock us at the same time. We'll accept good things, but we won't accept bad. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. Look, I'm not really in the mood, so I'll keep going for a minute or two. Give me just a second to have a breather. Yeah, it's not stressful, but it's just fucking annoying now. Oh shit, this guy just dropped something and just smashed. It's just annoying now that I've got to be, have this, police entourage and the coppers, and they just this. I don't mean to put shit on coppers, but they just kind of just have no fucking idea about stuff. He's just a dumb guy. The one that talked, the other one never said a word. He just stands there looking like a stunned mullet. It was the same with the woman who didn't say a word, and the other guy who talked, and just every time he talked, he just sounded dumber than I could believe anyone could be about things. Just don't know anything about anything. They're just unknowledgeable about. Maybe they know about footy and their kids going to school and the latest Taylor Swift song or something. I don't know, but they don't know anything about much else. Anyway, so I got lumbered with these two coppers, and the sort of Lebanese guy. His name is Gandhi. Because I keep thinking that's how I'm going to remember his name, Mahatma Gandhi, but his name is Gandhi. He's a Lebanese bloke, he said. And it's like he kind of tried to explain it to me as to what happened, and he talked to them, and he'd received an email, but I can't get any of it. I'm not allowed to receive it. Or anyway, he got my number and he rang me, so I've got his number now. So maybe I don't know what to do really, but I'm kind of half at home. What I've written at home is this thing about what I just said about that. You can't expect to just have the positivity portrayed, and it's like, these people are saying these words. I'm not putting words in their mouth. I'm just writing a commentary about it. When I post it up, I write a commentary saying this is my belief in what they're saying, and they're always on about so-called Australia, and they're always conflating the two, the colonisers of the two countries, Australia and Israel, and the genociding of the First Nations people, and on and on and on, and it goes. It's just who wants to accept it? And I'm all for. Again, I said this so many times: truth, treaty, and voice. Voice is Gornsky's. Except if you're from South Australia, you're going to push it through. Gone through that. Truth, go for it. Let's have some truth. And the week Invasion Day, just behind me over here in Belmore Park. Fuck it. Yeah, let's walk there. Invasion Day rally, and the woman. I'll walk to the spot while I talk about it. It's so funny. Everything always connects. But the woman that's up there, Lizzie, I think her name is, or Cindy, or I don't know which one she is, but it's like, fuck white people. Fuck white people. And then the white people cheer. And the white people, yes. Yes, fuck white people. We fucking hate ourselves. We hate ourselves. And she knows she's got this captive audience. Who's letting this kid just wander off? Oh, he's come back now. What was I getting to? What the fuck was I getting to now? I've lost track. Because I changed direction of where I'm going. I've just lost track of what I was saying. But Lizzie, the truth. The truth telling. There are 405,000 Aboriginal people in jail as we speak today on Invasion Day, the 26th of January 2024. 405,000 Aboriginal people in jail. And it's like, okay, the truth, that's the truth. That's what she's telling these young, impressionable, silly white kids that will, cheer when she says, fuck white people. They'll cheer. And because they've been taught it from day dot, I just repeat myself over and over and over, and no one's going to listen, and no one gives a fuck, no one cares. It's like, and I write it to the socialists that run the Palestinian Action Group. It's like, they've been taught that. They've been taught it from school to hate themselves. Josh in particular, who just won't answer me. It was funny watching in the side today. The copper that I was talking about, the liaison copper. Gandhi, sorry, Gandhi. He was saying, he came over and he talked to him, and there was some conversation and a bit of back and forth, but they just won't talk to me. They will not talk to me. And I don't know. I might forward on my messages that I had with him and say, look, this is what I wrote to this bloke. He will not answer me. Can you make him? And I even offered him. I said, look, I'll come and meet you I'll come and meet up at Day Street Police Station, and we can have a chat and we can work it out. But then these little Indian miners, they hassle any other bird that gets here. So this big raven, they're going to fucking hassle the shit out of him. Yeah, they're nasty little bits of work. They don't seem to mind these. There's an ibis there who's getting some sticks for a nest, I'd assume. Pigeons everywhere, and then seagulls. So all these birds are all okay. But this is where there's someone's sleeping bag there on the chair. But that in front of that chair there is where they had the what do you call it? The Invasion Day rally. They had the truck lined up, and they're all on the truck. Well, she was standing in front of the truck when she said it. But it's like, fuck white people, exactly here, and all this whole place was full of all these little white white socialist kids, and they all cheered as they heard her say "fuck white people." And you know, she went on to say, "Oh, you think you're Australian? Well, fucking forget it. You're not. You're freaking not. You're not Australian. It doesn't matter if you came in the first fleet or when you came. You're not Australian. This is our genocide. This is how this. This is how that." On and on and on she went. And then the Palestinian bloke gets on, and it's like, "Oh, I'm not. You know, people. I've only just worked out about Australia. You know, I came here 15 years ago, accepted here onto our country, and now the hatred he spews about it. It's like, oh, I didn't realise, you know, what a settler colonial state this was, and the genociding of the people, and the blah 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 blah, on and on and on. It's all from the same playbook. They all rabbit off the same bloody bullshit that they've learnt, you know. And this woman with her, you know, 405,000. This is the truth telling that she's telling these kids, these silly, impressionable white kids that are happy to cheer, you know, happy to cheer her on when she says "fuck white people," and happy to cheer that. And then they're going to go back to school and say, oh, you know, guess what? There's 405,000 Aboriginal people in jail tonight. And it's like, there is 17,000. That's the truth. The truth is that, but that's the real truth telling. But nobody wants that sort of truth telling, the real truth. They just want this made up truth, the truth that they want to be true. And then she goes on to say that half of all Aboriginal children that are born are taken from their mother's birthing bed. And look, the Aboriginal shit, it's just legal. This is legal aid, of course, but it'll just be everywhere. I'm not saying Aboriginal shit, sorry. But there you go. There's if you can see it. Oh yeah, how can I scoop in? There you go. There's your couple of boomerangs and your dot paintings. And then I always like to mock the dot paintings. The dot paintings are younger than I am. I'm older than dot paintings. And people say, oh, you know, so you got to some truth telling. These have been around for 65,000 years, the dot paintings. It's like, oh, okay. Well, they've been around for 57 years, and I've been around longer than the dot paintings. It's like, no. Fucking this guy, get him out of here. Get him out of here. He doesn't agree that there's, you know, almost 500,000 Aboriginals in custody, and he doesn't agree that dot paintings have been around for 65,000 years. You know, let's have some truth telling, honestly. Let's just get it out there. I'm not, look at this little guy having his little bit of white bread. Good on you, buddy. Yeah, anyway. The rabbiting on. Let's go this way. I'm stirred about face. My wanderings around town. What are we up to? 10 minutes. Oh, who will ever see these things? And if anyone ever does, it's like, please, why didn't other people stand up? And I think did I do the one about the drag queen story yesterday? Who the fuck's this? Who's this white guy giving a public talk about the agenda Parramatta and guided meditation and blah 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 blah? You know, he looks like a real genuine sort of monk. Fucking anyway, like, and yesterday at the drag queen story, I don't know if I've done it. I can't remember what I said yesterday, but I know it was about a 20-minute rant. I'm only halfway there today. But that woman, you know, she's got bigger balls than any other bloke in Australia. There's one woman, and her parents are one. She said her mum is, her dad is Spanish, and her mum is Argentinian from South America. And she came at a very young age, so she's very Australian. And she just considers herself Australian, like most people do, you know, that are born here. I've got a lot to say on this as well, but these Palestinians, it's like, nah, fuck, you know, fucking so-called Australia, as she says. The thing they're upset about is she repeats calling it so-called Australia so many times, and I always say, look, you know, knock Penny Wong, knock Albo, knock the government, knock the Labour, knock the fucking Greens, knock the Liberals, knock any politician you like. But you want to start knocking Australian people, well, you watch out. You know, you want to put shit on us, we're going to fucking bite back. We don't just lay down and accept it. But of course, the truth is we do. These two girls, this girl's taking a photo of her, just showing off, and it's like, sorry, I get past you. Oh, it's so funny. It's so distracting. what's this place? They used to have a sign here that it was the vaccine. I think they've taken it down now. Yeah, they used to have a comply with this. They used to have all this bullshit, and it was about the vaccine, but they took it down finally. There's only a few places left that have it. I don't know if I can be bothered walking past the one up here that does. They won't take it down. They'll never take it down. Where was I up to? Oh, what are those little puffy looking things? Puffed. What are they? Biscuit something or other. What the hell are these little puffy things? More average. Look, you can't go past. There's no. You just can't go past the dot paintings. These dot paintings is like, yeah. Who's older, me or a dot painting? Let's have some truth telling. It doesn't take long to find some more, and it's just everywhere. It's insidious now, and there's so many people riding the tail skirts. What do you call that? Skirt tails of it. I've forgotten the expression. Sorry. Had a couple of beers, so I'm just like cruising around. Finished my chat with my friend, and now I'm just she just hung up on me pretty much and told me to get back because I was just ranting and raving. When you think of the NDI, how do we go back? NDIS. It's like, you got a dude who's in this freaking full-on wheelchair, and it's like there's some need for him, but the people, the rest of them that are on it, have got I've got mental anguish issues. I'm in a trans, and I can't cope, and I need someone to come shopping with me, and I need NDIS support for my this and my that, and it's like, anyway. And the bikes. Now we start on the bikes. If I look at this little shitty little bike that's here, it's changing with the other one, so unusual. But these are the Lime bikes. It's a depository for empty Maccas. There's plenty of in there. And these are the pandas, the hungry pandas, and the whoever the go gets, and whoever runs these ones. They all live. See, they take out their little their electric thing, and they take it up to their apartment, and then they charge it up. And that's how this guy's the same too. It somehow slots in there, and I don't know. I guess that guy's the same as well. Oh, this guy's the same too. So they all slot out. There's a foot pedal if you need one, and then that whatever the electric part is, it slots out, and they take it up to the house. And this guy's took his seat out too, and they're chained together. And I don't know. I don't know how it all works, but they probably live in these apartments here. They live in these multi-story apartments, like 28 people to a room, and all the rest of it. Oh, all right. These rants are just ridiculous. And then there's more. There's a guy begging. There's a little girl looking at him. It's interesting to see. She's just watching. She doesn't quite know what it is. She's got a bag. She's carrying a bag along. Here's more of the bikes. Of course, the Lime bike. This will be what's in here. Let's have a look. Anything inside the basket? Oh yeah, a bit of Maccas and a dare juice. We'll get across here. There's no one coming. Let's go. And here's the guy begging. He's got his little cup, and the girl. The girl was interested, but she's forgotten about it now. She's heading off, and everyone else, nobody's giving him a penny. And of course, they take out. If they get any money, then it comes out. Oh, he's just having to move. His knees are a bit fucked, I reckon. And there'll be another one on the next corner, and it's a. I heard someone say today, look, here's a go. Don't even ask. And Coles will have all the, what's this stack? JB Hi-Fi magazine. Coles will have all the Pride shit back up soon, if not already, because Pride's coming up. We've had Chinese New Year, Australia Day, forget it. Chinese New Year, massive celebration. No end of money spent on Chinese New Year by the Sydney City Council. Australia Day, no, it's an embarrassment. We spend money on Invasion Day. That's what we support. We don't, this is our beautiful, beloved Clover Moore. Here we go. Keep walking proudly. So that'll be the new. Johnny Walker is one of the sponsors of the Pride. Those Keep Walking Proudlys will be everywhere. The bottle shop will probably have all that. Here at the World Square, what do we got here? The JB Hi-Fi, they'll have, I'm assuming they're going to have a bit of Chinese New Year stuff. I don't know what all this is. It's not really, I can't really make out anything, but here's the dragon on the roof here at the World Square. Plenty of Chinese New Year stuff here at the World Square. They've got a whole thing upstairs. It was on the ABC News. They had a cross to the lady. Telstra, come into Telstra, you get it in Chinese and English, of course. All this garbage. Lash bolt. I don't even know. These things are everywhere now. They're like a curse. There's Barbies. You probably get all different versions of different coloured Barbies now. Yeah, you get a little white one, you get a little black one, you get a little kind of a pale one, and a mocha one, and a dark mocha, and there's a white one, and a mocha, and a dark mocha, and well, they've got a proper black one. There's a proper black one with purple hair, and one with a black one with blue hair, and yeah, it's Barbie. There's the selections. Whoop. There's just selections of Barbie and the different colours, the Hot Wheels. Yeah, this one seems pretty innocuous, except for all the rainbows and the the unicorns and everything else, which they claim they've just taken hold of the rainbows and the unicorns. A unicorn and a rainbow is all to do with the agenda now. What else? So here we go into Coles. They don't seem to have the cutout of the drag queen like they had last year, but it was at one of the Coles I went to during the week. They have it at, but when they have a more homosexual type staff there, they will insist on having it. They do have a homosexual staff in here, so they probably have the Jack Daniels propaganda. I can't really see anything, but I'm sure it's in there. Let's have a walk in. Walk into Coles. I'm going to grab my dinner and head home. It's busting for pee actually. But it'll be in the Condom Avenue if it is, because it's sponsored by Durex. Yeah, Durex for the which is quite a of course. I see this dude around a lot actually. He reminds me of some movie star. I see him around a lot. He's always floating around in this place. Obviously he hits the gym very, very regularly. Condoms, Condom Frenzy, World Square. I won't even make any mention of anything else, which I like to do normally. Here we go, a bit of Chinese New Year lanterns, a few Chinese New Year things. Oh yeah, Lunar New Year, 10th of February. Forget Australia Day. They have a very lame little thing for Australia Day, which I didn't really want to have, but they had to have because Woolies got in trouble for not having it. So they thought, oh well, we better. Oh no, condoms will be here in this aisle, I think. Oh, maybe they don't have it. No, they haven't got it. I can't believe they don't have it. No, they haven't got it. Because I think they'd be in that aisle, surely. No, yeah, they don't have it. Oh, that's unusual. So condom. That's not very good. I reckon it'll come. Maybe I'm a bit early. Maybe some of the stores have already got it and some haven't. Oh yeah, here it is. So it's Durex. No, nothing. No, nothing. Most unusual. All right. Oh, okay, I'll go and get my dinner and I'll just shut up. Lunar New Year, 10th of February. Happy Lunar New Year, everyone. Australia Day. Fucking forget it.